1, 2, 3. And on that sideline over there. You got that? 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Down there, down there. Start your line. Number 2s.
Well, the resource is called Get the AIS into Your Classroom. So basically, the lessons cover a whole range of strands of the PDHPE syllabus. So it covers personal development, health and physical education for primary school students in stage 3, so that's year 5 and 6. And the great thing about the units is that it covers so many different strands of the syllabus. So all of the lessons are aligned with the syllabus from each Australian state. So they're ready to go. You pick up the unit, you can take it straight into the classroom or go outside, and basically everything is done for you. So there's excellent teaching notes in there if you're not familiar with the subject yourself. There's a really good mix of practical and theory. So the children will usually start with a lesson inside where they learn the background about the units, and then they might go outside, play some games, do some reflection on their learning. There's some extension activities which are really good to help develop creative thinking and higher order thinking skills. So most of the programs have been designed with those sorts of things in mind. There's a lot of integration with other subjects through the curriculum, so there might be a focus on maths or science in some of the extension activities. A lot of really good literacy based activities as well, so writing, looking at the media, looking at the way sport and health and fitness are perceived in the media, diet, really practical things that the kids really enjoy. Nestlé have been fantastic as well. As part of the program, they've had their nutritionists review the materials. So obviously they value healthy eating and a healthy lifestyle. So all of those things have been kept in mind with the programming of the units. I started out by reviewing a lot of the units and making a few changes to it just to make sure that it's really teacher friendly and that teachers have all the background information that they need before they teach it. There was a really big focus when I reviewed the units and when I designed the new ones on making sure that the children were really thinking. So they weren't just necessarily filling in things and answering questions, but they're actually designing, evaluating, making things. So we actually used Bloom's taxonomy to program a lot of the units and to invent the extension activities. So the kids are talking to each other about things and actually thinking rather than just being given content and learning things. Sometimes we underestimate how much children actually know about food and health, but we need to give them the opportunity to talk to each other about it. And just there are a lot of myths and things out there, and they see a lot of things on television that really do need to be clarified. So when the kids get into the units, and especially some of the ones about food and exercise, really challenges them to think about how they eat, what sort of exercise they do, and how it's affecting their health specifically for themselves, which is really good. And obviously that keeps them engaged because it's about them and it's about their friends and their family and the sorts of habits and patterns that are important to set for a lifetime of health. The new leadership unit I think is particularly interesting because we've tried to incorporate some things in there from the AIS and some of the athletes and coaches and people who are involved in leading teams. So the children can actually read about real life athletes, people who are training at the AIS, people who are coaching, people involved in managing teams, and look at some of the skills that they have and some of the skills that they need to learn to take on leadership positions in their school. The resources have been reviewed now, so they involve a little bit more reflection from the children after each activity, but they've also got assessment opportunities throughout each unit and also an evaluation section for teachers so that they can basically make sure they're reviewing the program, make small changes if they want to for the next time, and really make sure that they get the most out of the program that they possibly can. The units have also been changed slightly so that there's a focus question. So the children are learning not so much content but about how to think about things and think about their health and their diet. There's also a really good mix, I think, of small group, pair and whole class activities so that children are always engaged and it's not just the same old stuff. It's not the teacher standing out the front telling the children what to do and asking questions and receiving responses back and forth. They're actually doing ranking activities and barrier tasks and things that really require them to think, which is the most important thing. Unfortunately, I think what we tend to find as teachers is with such a jam-packed curriculum and so many things to get through, often PDHPE and physical activity falls to the bottom of the pile, or we might just sometimes have an afternoon of sport that's not really programmed as best as it could be. So these units of work make it really easy for teachers. Everything is already there for you. You just need to take out the program, make some copies of some of the worksheets, some of the resources. You can actually use interactive whiteboards or a smartboard if you have one of those to show the children the resources, and it makes it much more purposeful, the teaching of personal development, health and physical education.